Let me now bring in retired four-star General Jack Keane. General, Russian men are fleeing. What does that tell you about Russia's army and about Putin?
Well, certainly, first of all, Putin is losing this war. It doesn't mean that he's actually, in the end, going to lose it, but he's certainly on his way to doing that. Secondly, in terms of this is a sham that's being conducted with these referendums in the four territories. I mean, Putin doesn't even own all of those occupied territories that he's conducting this referendum in. He only owns parts of it. And clearly, it is designed for his domestic audience. And it has absolutely no meaning inside of Ukraine. And it's certainly not going to stop the Ukrainians from attempting to take back that territory. Evidence of that is the Ukrainians have attacked Crimea for weeks, and the Russians have not escalated in any way whatsoever, and they annexed Crimea back in 2014. As it contains this issue dealing with the mobilization, which is a partial mobilization supposedly, but in fact, they are not just calling up reservists, and they're resisting some of them, but yes, they are absolutely forcibly pushing people into the military that have not served whatsoever, as if it was a full mobilization. And we can see the results of that. Look at the Russian people and the men in their society. If Russia was being threatened, their history is they would fight to the death to protect their country and their livelihood of their people, much the way the Ukrainians are doing. But that's not the issue here. The issue here is going to fight a war against Ukrainians, and it has nothing to do with protecting the homeland or protecting the people. And the people in Russia certainly understand that even more today than they did 7 months ago. The narrative of what is happening in Ukraine, Stuart, is finally getting out. It's not completely out, but it is getting out. And there is resistance here. And by the way, the people they're going to bring in, it'll take months before they're seen on the battlefield, and a certain percentage of them are going to be physically unfit, they're going to be medically unfit, and a great number of them are going to be emotionally and psychologically not ready to fight this war. They don't want any part of it. They're being forced into it, Stuart.
Putin's problems are growing, and that's not altogether a bad thing. I'm going to change the subject. The Israeli Prime Minister gave an intense warning to Iran during his UN speech yesterday. Watch this, please. Roll it.
The Jews today have a state. We have an army. We have great friendships, first and foremost with the United States. We have capabilities, and we are not afraid to use them. We will do whatever it takes. Iran will not get a nuclear weapon. We will not stand by while there are those who try to kill us. Not again. Never again.
General, those are strong words, and he wouldn't make a threat if he wasn't prepared to follow through on it, would he?
Oh, you're absolutely right, Stuart. Listen, ever since the Islamic State of Iran was formed by these thugs and killers who are pretending to be religious clerics, the fact is they have made one statement after another for 40-plus years that they intend to take control of the Middle East and dominate it. Secondly, to accomplish that mission, they want to drive the United States out of the Middle East. That is why they've been killing us using their proxies when they blew up our embassies, our Marine barracks, our Air Force barracks, and what they did to American troops using advanced IEDs in the war in Iraq. And then the second objective is to destroy the state of Israel. The means to do that is nuclear weapons. Now, many people roll their eyes when they hear that, Stuart. Oh, the Iranians wouldn't do something like that. Well, they have said it every single year of their existence. The Israelis absolutely believe it. Anybody associated with national security and foreign policy in the United States who's been paying attention believes it. And that is why you get this strong, unequivocal statement from the prime minister. He will not let that happen. He will use military force because he believes he is protecting the nation state of Israel as a result of what the Iranians would do in acquiring a nuclear weapon.
Now, let's see that strength. General Jack Keane, thank you, sir. Always appreciated. We'll see you again. Coming up,